So in this video, I want to talk about the main destinations that you should be heading for after breakup to deal with the challenges that will arise, the kind of emotional turmoil you'll be going through, and how you can make a plan of action or just something to actually do so you feel less out of control with your life and less desperate and depressed after the breakup, because breakups they're right up there with death and moving. It hits you really hard when somebody breaks up with you, especially when you're the one who gets dumped. It's really hard. So the main destinations that you should be heading for after a breakup are taking care of yourself, number one, working out the grief, number two, and dealing with challenges. And this is going to help you heal and kind of reclaim some ground and balance in your life after a breakup. So taking care of yourself after a breakup is really important. You need to take some time for self-care, because this is going to give you the fortitude and resilience kind of to deal with the painful feelings that will arise after a breakup. And I'm not talking about being really like indulgent or anything, just allowing yourself as though you were sick. You know, if you had a really bad cold, you would take some time off work. Well, think of this breakup the same way. It's like an emotional sickness, kind of. And it's okay to feel that way, because emotions can be as difficult for some people to cope with as physical illness, and can actually manifest as physical illness in some people. So take some time right now, consider yourself, sick, and don't, lie around the house eating candy and stuff, because that's only going to make you feel worse. You should be, trying to get outside, even if it's just walking for a little bit every day. Try to get out in the sun. If it's not sunny, do something inside. Exercise is a really good idea. You should be trying to eat healthy. Now is a great time to feed yourself really good, healthy food. Fruits and vegetables, whole grains. Just care for yourself as though you were caring for another person. So self-care is really important after a breakup. So treat yourself well. And you should start that right away after the breakup. Now, the next thing you want to be doing right at this point is to work out the grief, which is kind of a twofold process. You want to avoid doing things that are going to hurt you, like, hooking up with somebody else right away, turning to drugs or alcohol. So avoid things that will hurt you, and then also allow yourself to feel the grief after a breakup. Allow those feelings to come, the sadness and the anger you're probably feeling. Just kind of, say it's okay. Allow yourself to feel and to work through the grief. And you should also keep in mind that very rarely are breakups permanent. I mean, sometimes they are, sometimes things just don't work out for people. And they can't reconcile for whatever reasons. But in general, if you don't screw things up more, there's always a chance of getting back together with your ex. And it might surprise you, but you could find, after you go through this process to heal, that you don't actually want to be with your ex. It's kind of all the craziness right now of just not having that person in a relationship that's making you feel all, sad and terrible and angry, and this roller coaster of emotions. So it's kind of the insecurity that is playing into that. So just keep in mind as you're going through this process that anything can happen. You might get back together with your ex, you might not. And if you do want to get back together with your ex, there's a specific process you should be following, which I actually talk about in the, if you sign up down here, you put your email in and you download my newsletter, sign up for my newsletter, I send you a guide that tells you exactly what to do to get your ex back. If it's within the realm of possibility, of course. So, the third thing you should be doing is dealing with the challenges that arise in this kind of healing process after your breakup. And one of the challenges is going to be contact with your ex at this point. And it's up to you to decide if you can keep in some contact, or what they call limited contact, with your ex, which means, short phone calls or texts or whatever. Limited contact means not touching on the breakup in your conversations, trying to avoid that. If you have to be in contact with your ex, like because you have kids together, or they're coming to your house because they need to pick stuff up or whatever, you still want to avoid the breakup, talking about that. But it's up to you to decide if you want to go no contact or limited contact. Now, no contact is pretty self-explanatory. You just cease contact with them. Even if they contact you, you still, you just don't answer their phone calls or texts. And no contact can be a really good way of sort of reestablishing control in the relationship, or not necessarily in the relationship, but in your life and in your interactions with this person. No contact just says, that's it. I'm okay right now. I don't need you to function. But if, it's up to you if you want to go that route. I do recommend no contact, especially if you've had a really messy breakup, because it shows you that you can function without your ex. And that is a really big kind of self-esteem, and just, it makes you really boost your self-esteem and makes you feel good about yourself to see that you don't need somebody else to function. So, and if your relationship is based on need or codependency, it's probably not going to work out to be a very healthy relationship in the end anyway. So yeah, to recap, those are the 3 things you should be thinking about at this point in the healing process after a breakup. And they are taking care of yourself, number 1, working out the grief, number 2, and number 3, dealing with challenges. So kind of, give this video some thought, and, just remember that even though you're going through a really hard time right now, it will get better, and you will be able to function on your own. You are functioning on your own right now, and just going out there and looking for help like you've done already is a huge thing. So give yourself some credit, for keeping it together as well as you have, even in this tough time. Thanks for watching, and I really hope that this video helps you.